So I actually started building the foundations for an internet-based democracy, a pure democracy, about 15 years ago. You can see the shell at civilsimian.com. It was actually one of my first dreams to build that into a business that would generate enough ROI to attract venture capital. The idea was always world domination for the right reasons. Anyway, this competition between Sam Altman and Elon Musk to launch a global currency and scan your identity, these guys are doing it. I mean, they've got the money and the time, the attention and the power to do it. Let me talk about what I found while I was building my model. Like everybody else, I've been sort of fed up with representative democracy for some time. It seemed to me that we had the technology to build a perfectly mathematical, democratic model, make it global, and we could bring everything to the people for a vote. We could reduce our reliance on somebody else to do the voting for us, and we could actually take a stand on everything ourselves. The idea is that you basically build up a profile and you take stands on current issues. Then there's a stats page where the data can be known on any issue. Also, there's clear information about the demographic of the people voting. Another feature of the system was that people could submit their own ideas. It sort of worked like Reddit, upvotes and downvotes. The issue for me was when you have no money and no power, it's all about your elevator speech and the feasibility of your ROI. At the time, everybody pretty much considered Web 2.0 projects a bust. Facebook was doing it though. It was fairly obvious that a web entity could skyrocket up and occupy a single position at the top. Because one of the main issues is, yeah, you can build an internet state, but 1,000 others will build theirs right after you. But again, Facebook has shown that a single spot can be held down. So anyway, the idea is you do away with election cycles and you just sort of vote as an ongoing duty. You log in periodically, there will be a list of new votes that need to be addressed with correlating education links, by the way, and you vote from home. The whole thing was the voting process had to be from home. It had to be easy for people to be deeply involved in voting for everything. But the problem over and over again came down to security and identification. Someone could hack your account, someone could defeat your security measures. There's 1,000 ways to defeat a person's physical security measures. That's why Sam and Elon are trying to scan your face and your eyes. None of it can work unless we are able to definitively identify people and the physical security is foolproof. So they can scan everybody, give them a citizen profile connected to an electronic currency of some sort. I imagine an AI will act as the head of the system. Initially, the system will be voluntary and global. So if the AI fails to act, there's really no damage done because the systems of old are still in place and we can slowly perfect the global internet state. Trust me, every person in a poor country will sign up immediately because they know this is the first chance they'll get at a global UBI. I myself am all in with Altman, not Elon. Here's the executive summary from my plan. Building bridges. Since the times of Athenian democracy, we have understood the importance of the common man participating in the social momentum and politics of the time in which he lives. We can mobilize the people into the biggest entity of all, and global information connection is the way to do that. If done correctly, the internet can be a productive, changing reflection of the articulated desires of the people through their participation in popular consensus. Earth and the internet. If we can start to compile all the greatest ideals of the best thinkers, then we can gain a world's eye view of the universal tendencies of the masses. Then, through accurate consensus, by popular vote, the highly valued ideals will rise to the top of the list, and the less valued ideals will remain at the bottom. Out of information anarchy will arise an order. This order is born of an innate utility to work towards civility in the interest of survival. The internet provides a perfect opportunity to compile a wide-reaching database and let the universal tendencies come to the surface in their own potentiality. The website. The website we are developing will attempt to draw people of different ideals together in a cooperative collective. We will present a mechanism that works in levels and is ever changing within those levels to meet the popular desire of the people. The people themselves will submit the ideals to evaluate, and the people themselves will vote to accept or reject the ideals. The most popular ideals will rise to the top, while other ideals will remain searchable. As times and people change, their votes will change and the ideology will grow to reflect their desires. In the past, people did not have the technology to put together a purely mathematical, unbiased mechanism. When people can see the difference they make in a completely transparent system, their confidence in the system is confidence in themselves. It will take years to develop this idea, but we will take the small steps now that will allow us to open the gates and walk into a different world of new ideas. Understanding the mechanism. Imagine having a voice in the control and order of the life in which you live. The voice does not guarantee that you will be able to change things exactly the way you want, but it will give you a traceable voice that you can see in a mathematical difference. If you support an ideal in your profile and during some studies you decide that you no longer support that ideal, you can simply go to your profile and change your mind. The statistical calculations of the popularity of that ideal will change instantly, and the articulation of your electronic stand will be known instantly. When searching the database for statistical information on certain ideals, we can see if the support is waxing or waning according to popular consensus. In a member profile, there will be many functions available for participation. Every ideal that has been passed will have an option to support or undermine. The participant will make their voice heard on every issue they care to participate in. They may also submit their own ideas for popular ideals. The success of their contributions will depend on the popularity of the idea and also the credibility of the submitting party. One goal of this structure is to create a competing environment for ideology and lifestyle. If we create a structure where thinking individuals can submit their ideas and become popular with the participating people, then those ideas will become highlighted and the people that learn from them will be better people. The mechanism will allow people to compete in a way that allows them to grow to be great and good individuals and harness the power of competition to refine virtue, using popularity to drive creativity. When we think about the noblest points of what makes democracy great, we start to understand how we can make it better. What makes democracy great is the feeling that every person can make a difference. If they cannot see the difference they have contributed, they become apathetic, and it is simple mathematics from that point on. Unless you are unusually driven, then you will be as apathetic as the system you participate in is opaque. We must preserve transparency and in turn preserve the confidence of the people in themselves. That is why we devised this simple mathematical mechanism which uses popularity to drive noble ideas to the top where they belong through popular consensus. Essentially, if we can make people who hold productive beliefs and values into rock stars in a sense that we can use the energy of competition to refine popular universal values into what amounts to an electronic, monomechanistic, anthropological, moral value collective. It works so eloquently because as time changes, the database will change with the lives of the masses. It will speak directly to the values being followed by the virtuous of the day, while giving the people confidence that they can participate in the formation of the ideals of their day while they are living their day. Conclusion of the executive summary. There are many moderate people who just want to live content and satisfactory lives and utilitarian ideals, hoping that others may live their lives out in content and satisfactory ways also. It is in the people's best interest to mobilize globally under ideals they support directly in majority. This executive summary is a generalized overview. I did piece the site together and it used to function exactly the way it was designed, but being on a Drupal foundation, it got hacked to death and I couldn't keep up with it. That's one of Facebook's great successes. They danced with the hackers and the bots, changed the format of the site, and eventually they won for the most part. Any site that comes up and wants to manage information has to deal with that, and paradoxically, they have to balance identification, security, and anonymity. It's a laughably large task. Help us grow the channel by liking the video, hitting the notification bell, and subscribing to the channel. And if you guys want to talk more about this, I'll throw things up, drawing from the plans that I have and stuff.